top right of your screen, you'll see a little meeting being recorded. So you just need to hit got that. And that will enable the recording that we can hopefully share with you a little bit later, or if any internet issue has happened. And just kind of waiting, a couple more people popping in, and then we'll start the show, get the show on the road. Yeah, something like that. All right. Alrighty. Well, first of all, I'm just going to share my screen and introduce you to our low waste virtual demonstration. So like I said, our aim today is to show you how you can use more of your things that you would may normally throw away in terms of food, but also reducing packaging, which is such a cool thing to be able to do with our Thermomix. And it is definitely forefront of people's minds at the moment. So having less packaging and less plastic in the environment is always going to be a great thing. So what I want to do first of all is, I know some of you guys have Thermomixes, and for those of you that are on today that don't have a Thermomix, what I want to do is introduce you to kind of the brains of the operation, the lady who first brought Thermomix into Australasia. It started out in Australia a wee while ago and then came to New Zealand, and yeah, have been changing people's lives since. So I'm going to play a wee video that speaks into a little bit about that.
Meet Grace, mum, grandmother, friend, neighbour and home cook. In 2000, she added another string to her bow. She became Australia's first Thermomix consultant. Consultants live to share their love of Thermomix. Every consultant has a story, and this is Grace's. On a family trip to Poland, she saw the possibilities of the Thermomix firsthand.
Straight away, I saw how Thermomix could inspire people to create delicious food while spending less time in the kitchen and more time on the things that matter. Our mission is to make a difference in people's lives by helping them to easily create healthy, delicious meals every day and enjoy it. And now, with the smart connected TM6, it's all at the touch of a button.
The manufacturer of Vorwerk, Wurst Global, is a family business at heart, just like our family business here in New Zealand and Australia.
Growing up, Thermomix was a big part of our family. As a teenager, it got me in the kitchen creating new things and ignited my passion for food. Now as a dietitian and a mum, I get to pass on my knowledge of health and nutrition and my passion for cooking with my children and the whole Thermomix community.
Today, more than 2,000 consultants share cooking experiences with people around New Zealand and Australia. More than 13 million Thermomixes have been sold across 40 different countries, including almost 500,000 here in New Zealand and Australia. And many top chefs are cooking with Thermomix too. Since 1971, Vorwerk has been producing Thermomix in Germany and France, helping people around the world to create a lifetime of amazing meals. German precision engineering, paired with cutting-edge technology, combines 20 different functions into the one compact Thermomix appliance. Thermomix was first to introduce guided cooking, an innovative way to create meals by simply following the on-screen step-by-step instructions.
We've developed over 15 cookbooks and more than 2,100 triple-tested recipes on Cookie-Doo, our digital recipe library. Your Cookie-Doo subscription also provides you access to over 42,000 recipes from countries all around the world. What I love about my TM6 is that I can search for any of these recipes on Cookie-Doo directly on the screen of my Thermomix.
Today, your consultant will show you how Thermomix can help you to easily create delicious food smarter and faster. If you are curious about becoming Thermomix consultant, the next step is as simple as having a chat with your consultant today.
Now it's time for your consultant to show you what you can create with your smart connected Thermomix. Thank you for coming to today's cooking experience and sharing in our love for Thermomix. We hope you enjoy.
Amazing. And that is the beautiful Grace and Bianca, who head up our mix in Australia and oversee us down here in New Zealand. So tonight we've got a few of us on taking care of you guys. I've got myself. My name is Carol. So I'm a Thermomix consultant based in Christchurch, and I've been with the business since 2018. And I'm going to guide you through this demonstration tonight with the help of a few of my friends. So we have got Marlon. So Marlon is going to be making Fruity Dream tonight. And then we've got Rebecca. Rebecca will be making some hummus tonight and telling us how she can save lots of money by just making some of these simple things at home. Now, Demby, unfortunately, is sick. She is here in the audience. I'm sure she'll give you a wave there. And she's being replaced by the lovely Kylie, who's got vast experience in cooking and using a Thermomix. So can't wait to share with her. And she'll be making some bread rolls for us. And then we've got Mette, who is our team leader. And she is going to be making, I'm just having a look, the Chinese style chicken. So this is a new dish which we're offering people at in-home and obviously virtual demonstrations. So can't wait to share with that. And in the chat box, what you'll notice is there's an option to put some stuff in the chat box, and the gorgeous Jess is going to be answering all your questions. So if you've got any questions, or I'm answering any questions or asking any questions, just feel free to put them in the chat box and Jess will get back to you. So now I know that some of you guys know a little bit about the Thermomix. So we do call it our smart connected kitchen because it's connected to the internet via Wi-Fi. So this is exactly how it updates, just like an iPad or phone. One morning you'll come down, there'll be an update available, and it actually gets better with age. So it just improves. So rather than getting outdated, it's updated. So once you kind of buy this, you're going to continuously be updated, getting all the new and wonderful things that are out. So I'd love you guys to have a look at this screen. We do say the Thermomix replaces over 20 different appliances. So if you guys could have a wee look at this screen, and maybe there's something that pops out to you that you think that's interesting, or maybe there's something you never knew it did, or maybe there's something you're really looking to do more in your Thermomix. So have a look and then pop it in the chat and let us know, because then we can go and help you and explain a little bit more about you or point you in the direction of some recipes that could really help. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and we're going to get straight into the action. And I'm going to bring you over to Marlon, who I'm going to introduce you to now. And she is going to be cooking the wonderful Fruity Dream. If you've had a demonstration before, you will see, have seen Fruity Dream in action. It's one of our favorites at home here. Here she is. I'm going to pop her in here.
Carol, sorry, can you go to Kylie first, please? We'll just start with
sure.
the bread, sorry.
Okay, no problem. We're going to go to the bread rolls, and I assume that's because it takes a little bit longer with the proving time. Spotlight, here we go. So here is the gorgeous Kylie. Kylie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you've ended up in this strange and wonderful world with me here.
Well, I'm a chef by trade. I've been a chef for 25 years, and I heard of the Thermomix. Obviously, Metta's my really good friend, and to be honest, I didn't want to see the Thermomix. I thought it was already awesome, so I didn't see it for a very long time. And then when I finally succumbed to going to a demo, 10 minutes in, I got it, and I realized how it can help people, and it's actually changed my life. So I just love that any person can become a really good cook. And it's quite empowering to do that. So I love teaching people the Thermomix and what it can do, but also, you know, like getting back to basics and cooking from scratch and reducing the packaging and all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing that's really important to me. So yeah, the Thermomix really aligns.
I love that. And do you cook much bread with it? I know that's what you're doing for us tonight.
I actually cook a lot of bread. Yeah. Yeah, and I never used to make that much bread before I had a Thermomix. I make pizza dough and probably a bit of focaccia bread, but other than that, I probably probably didn't. Like I'd never make a big loaf of bread like I do. Like I probably make 3 batches of the Portuguese bread a week, and that saves a heck of a lot of money for us. And you know, like the 5C bread and the bread rolls. So yeah, just cuts down so much money, and also the additives as well. Like there's so many additives in bread, so
Yeah,
it's
right.
nice to be able to cut all that out.
And even the packaging breads in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about what you're making tonight.
So I'm making the basic bread rolls. So they are really basic. I love this recipe because it doesn't have any sugar in it. And you can also, so it asks for whole wheat grains. So a lot of people don't actually have whole wheat grains. The whole wheat is actually, so if you had milled that down, you'd get wholemeal flour. So you could actually skip that first part, the milling part, and jump into that and just add wholemeal flour. I love that it mills, so it's going to mill my whole ingredients. And today I'm going to add some buckwheat as my grain, just for some extra nutrients and just extra goodness into my bread as well. So yeah, and the rest of it's really easy. I love that it's only like 35 minutes proving. Like a lot of other breads obviously take a lot longer than that. And yeah, pretty easy and simple.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Take
So
us
I
away
will
in
just
your
crack on. Below.
yeah.
So I will just go into my recently cooked here, and I'll just go into my basic bread roll recipe. So I can actually scroll up, and I can change the portion size on here as well. So if I wanted to make 24 buns, I can easily do that. Today I'm making 16. Or I could cut the serving size down to 8 if I had less people in the house. But yeah, you can make 24 and just freeze them, which is also very handy. So we'll just crack on. Asking for 100 grams of the whole wheat grain. So as I said, I'm just going to use whole buckwheat groats. So I love.
Where would you get these from, Kylie?
I got these from Bin In, but you can get them from the supermarket. Just in the kind of Whole Foods kind of aisle. And like the sauce, is it the sauce place, Nourish and Thrive, where you go to?
Yes, that's right. Thrive and Nourish. Yeah, Nourish and Thrive.
Yeah. So places like Bin In, you can just take your jars and they'll weigh the jar, and then you can get your buckwheat weighed straight into there, so you can save money. You know, like not having packaging and stuff as well, and obviously it's cheaper in those whole food places. But so that's just 100 grams. I'll pop the lid on. It's going to be a wee bit noisy here because it's going to mill the whole groats for 1 minute. So yeah.
That's right. So while that's milling, what you'll notice in Kylie's, if we can you can kind of have a wee look, but she has got our new limited offer of the black sparkling Thermomix. So the Thermomix is always available in white, classic white. It's beautiful. It's never kind of always looks good in every kitchen. And we have actually brought out a limited time offer. So it's just available for this month. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jess, but I think it's until the 10th of September. And that is available, so or until stock's less, so sometimes it may sell out a little bit sooner. And it's kind of got rather than a shiny texture, it's kind of got a textured touch to it, so it's a little kind of uneven, and it kind of sparkles a bit, which is why we call it our sparkling black Thermomix. So it's very cool and it looks gorgeous, and Kylie was lucky enough and clever enough to earn her very own black sparkling Thermomix, which was amazing. Yeah, and it looks great in her kitchen.
Thank you. I'm just waiting on my green tile. That would look very good with it.
So cool.
So you can see now that is milled those groats down to flour. So the cool thing is that you can actually just have your whole foods in the jar, and you can just mill things as you need them to keep them fresh. So that's what I love. Cool. I'm just going to pop that to the side and then add 300 grams of water.
what you'll notice is the scales are built into the feet. So if you don't have a Thermomix and you're just wondering how she knows how to weigh in, on the screen there, you can't quite see it because of the light, but it's actually brought up the scales. And so as she's pouring it in, rather than having cups and spoons and another measuring device, it's all built into the feet. So she's just weighing straight in.
Yeah, I love that you can just grab things straight from your pantry and just weigh them straight in.
Good.
So 2 teaspoons of yeast.
We always recommend keeping your yeast in the fridge.
Yep.
Is a little bit temperamental sometimes.
It can be, very much so. Right, so for 2 minutes, this is going to heat it to 37 degrees. So it's going to activate the yeast, get it nice and warm before we add the flour in. And yeah, so then it's already working. So it cuts down that proving time as well. So yeah.
I love that. And because the temperature is set, I think it's set to 37 degrees, so that's body temperature. So there's no more, I think it takes out that guessing, like how warm is that water? How warm am I? You know, how is it going to activate and interact with the yeast? So you've got this precision, which is why it's so popular in a lot of restaurants and stuff where they're relying on that precision. So they've got the 37 degrees set, and we know it's not going to go above 37 degrees, it's not going to drop below 37 degrees, and that's why the yeast will always work. It's perfect. Yeah.
So a lot of times if you have the water too hot as well, it can kill the yeast, and people don't realize that might be my bread's not rising, and then all of a sudden you realize.
Well, yeah, and they do say baking is a little bit of a science, so I guess it's taking that error, you know, and adding in that bit of accuracy. So, you know, some people will say to me, oh, I can never bake, and you know, they might be a bit heavy-handed, or like you say, adding into hot water. So this is where it gives you that exact control. So even if it's something you're not confident in, you're following the steps, and it will kind of teach you, as I know it's definitely taught me a few things on, you know, how to improve your cooking.
Yeah, definitely. We've just got 20 seconds left.
20 seconds, yes, it's going to look great with your green tiles. It'll look even
Thank
more pop.
It's got to get the tiler to do the job, the husband.
Oh yeah, that's hard, isn't it? We'll all have a word with them. Oi.
Perfect. So now it's just asking for some olive oil. I've just got some rapeseed oil here. I just use the good oil. Perfect.
Love that, weighing it in again.
Yeah, so good. So good. And now between 400 and 420 of baker's flour.
And going to these places like Nourish and Thrive at Bush Inn or Bin Inn, this is where you can even further reduce your waste by buying these items. They're often cost less and they don't come in any packaging. Such a great way to get your groceries.
So good. I find that I avoid so many different aisles now at the supermarket since I've had a Thermomix.
Right, yeah.
But just add a little bit of salt there, and then I'm adding the reserved wheat flour back in. Well, the buckwheat, sorry. So it's just going to have a wee mix for 6 seconds.
And this is great. So you never need to sift with the Thermomix. The blades will move around and aerate your flour. So that is another part of your kitchen you can get rid of or donate that you just don't simply need.
Perfect. So now it's just going to go on for 2 minutes kneading. So I love that 2 minutes in the Thermomix is 10 minutes by hand. So it saves me so much time. You know, like if I was doing this myself, you know, like on the bench, it'll take me so much time. So yeah.
And I love the fact that while it's doing it, you've got 2 minutes to do something else. So, you know, even today I was peeling my potatoes in the Thermomix, and it wasn't because, you know, peeling potatoes is particularly difficult, but it was just something else. So while that was peeling, I was preparing another part of the dish. So this is where it's great as an extra pair of hands in your kitchen if you just want to save a little bit of time or know-how as well. Yeah. In the chat for you guys, I'd love you to pop in, even the consultants, anything, any kind of breads that you like to make in the Thermomix, because there are some amazing recipes, bread recipes in the Thermomix. So pop it in there. And Kylie's, what she's got now at the moment, you can see she's got her dough mat. Kylie, can you just explain to people how they can get their hands on a discounted dough mat?
If you host a cooking experience, you can get your hands on one of these beautiful babies. So if someone was to purchase, you could get one for free, and or just for having people at your cooking experience, you can get one for 50%. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, it is. They're great. I reckon these are another great part of having a Thermomix is these little things, the dough mat. It just makes it so much easier when you're dealing with any kind of doughs or anything. Even in space, you can pick it up and move it. And do you prove in it yours?
Yeah, so I just done like a wee parcel, and then and then I just have it sort of somewhere warm, and yeah, it's great. And then if I feel like I want to, we've got quite a cold house actually, so if I feel like I want to get the bread working faster, if it's not like, you know, rising fast enough, I'll just put a bowl of hot water underneath, like a just a silver bowl, and then I'll just pop that on a tray on top of it just to get some more heat in there. So it's really versatile. Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, so I'm just going to, obviously this is what I've prepared earlier. So this is yeah, as I said, leave this for 35 minutes, so it should just double in size. And then we're going to portion this into, can you see?
Can see. Oh, perfect. Yeah, that's even better.
Just into 16.
And this dough scraper is available in the Mix shop. If you happen to purchase Thermomix at the moment, you can get a $140 voucher for the Mix shop, and that goes a long way. That dough scraper, I believe, is about $3. So you can get lots of them or a few other extra things in the Mix shop. But yeah, so the dough mat is amazing. I definitely recommend hosting a cooking experience. Get it at 50% off, why not? And you can see how useful it is just for proving your dough and just rolling it out, especially if you're ever using any gluten-free doughs and they're a little bit more sticky. So good having one of these dough mats. Yep. They also come with an oven mat. So the oven mat is a bonus as well, and that goes into your oven and replaces baking paper. So again, another thing you can reduce a little bit more waste with.
Perfect. Right, so I've got all these. I'm just gonna
roll it around.
Roll it around.
Show us one. Yeah.
So I just have my hand. I put a little bit of pressure on the dough, and then I slowly bring it up, and then my fingers ends up going around it. So a little bit of pressure, bring it up, bring it up.
So try.
And then you have this little baby. So we're just gonna pop those on a tray, and then it goes into an oven, a cold oven. You set it to 200 degrees, and it'll cook for 30 to 35 minutes. So yeah,
amazing. And can you show us the dough, what it looks like in your Thermomix, just so we can show people? Like, how good is that?
Yeah, beautiful, and it's really nice and warm.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, perfect. Well, we look forward to seeing how they turn out when you pop them in the oven. And I'm going to bring us back to Marlon this time. And I think
Carol, you're going to come to me.
Okay. Alrighty. There she is.
So you'll come to Marlon in just a second. I'm just going to start off the Chinese style chicken. I just need to get the rice on, and then we're going to get to see Marlene do the fruited dream, which is super exciting. So I'm going to make the Chinese style chicken, which is, like Carol said before, a new dish on our menu, for our demo menu. And it's a really cool thing because we're going to cook chicken in the bowl. We're going to also make rice and cook vegetables at the same time. So it is a super cool dish to show you. And don't know what you guys think. Is it the white or the black the nicest? I'm going to cook in the black one today because that's a bit fun. Being brand new. So I'm going to be super quick now to start off with. I have prepared a couple of things that's just not very fun to watch. So what it's asking us now is to put our simmering basket into our bowl. And then we're going to weigh in 350 grams of rice. So just medium grain rice. I've actually got basmati, so it's a long grain rice in here. But that worked out fine when I did it at a cooking experience yesterday. We're going to go next. I've already rinsed it, so it's asking us to rinse it until the liquid runs clear. Adding 1,000 grams of water into our bowl, so it's just a lot of water in here to cook our rice. Popping that in here, and then we're going to add a little bit of salt and popping the rice on. So I'm going to pop my aroma on top as well. I've got a nice wee picture. You guys probably can't see the picture on there because the screen is a bit bright. And adding in all our vegetables as well. So popping this on, and I have prepared all of these veggies. So first it's a whole onion. Putting that in. Oh, sorry, half an onion. A carrot. And a capsicum. And 150 grams of broccoli, and I've even used obviously the stalks, so just cut them up into like little stalky bits. I'm going to pop them somewhere on the bottom, adding in my broccoli, and then we're going to pop our lid on and look at all. So then now we've got lots of beautiful veggies in here. If I wasn't doing this Zoom tonight, I probably would have skipped the capsicum and done something else instead, like celery or something that is not so expensive when it's out of season, or you could use zucchini in summer if you've got that in your garden. And now we're just going to cook this for 10 minutes at aroma at speed 4. So this is just going to steam away, cooking the rice and the vegetables at the same time. And then we can go to Marlon and watch the Pretty Dream.
Yay.
Yay.
I love that. Thank you so much. Let me find Marlon for you.
Yep,
Thanks, Meta. We'll be back to you shortly. Here you go.
Yes.
Hi, Marlon. How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you guys?
Good. Well, we're very excited. We've been talking a lot about what you're going to cook, so let's see what you're making.
So we're making one of our family's favorite treats here tonight. We're making Fruity Dream. And it's such a great recipe because it helps us avoid a lot of different preservatives and additives. My son has a red food coloring sensitivity, or he's quite intolerant actually. So we can never go to the shop and just buy anything red. So this is perfect for us. So should I just get started?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to seeing this. This is also a favorite in our household.
What was that, Carol? Sorry, I missed that.
Also, this is also a real favorite in our household.
Yeah, it's great. So it's now asking me for 80 grams of raw sugar. I'm going to pop that in there. And I'm going to go next. And it wants me to put the lid and the measuring cup on and go next. And now it's going to ask me to go to 9. So it's going to do some milling.
So at speed, perfect. So at speed 9, 10. So we can go from
dust coming up here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look at that. So at speed 10, we are milling. So 0, obviously 1 being very slow, moving of the blade, 10 being the fastest. And you can see what she has cleverly made.
So just wanted to show you that.
What are you doing,
Yeah, I was just going to say how I put raw sugar in, right? And now we've got icing sugar. So that would obviously also help us not have to buy any icing sugar in the shop anymore, and save on both money and packaging. Because I don't know if you've thought about it, but icing sugar always comes in plastic bags as well, whilst the raw sugar or caster sugar comes in paper bags. So I've just clicked here, and it's asking me to insert a butterfly whisk. So that's this one. As you can see, it kind of looks like a wee butterfly. So I'm just going to pop that one in, make sure that's it there, and go next. And it asks me for 1 egg white, which I've separated earlier today. Just prepare that for us for tonight. And I'm popping that in. I'm going to go next. And it's asking me to take the measuring cup off and put the lid on. And now it's asking me, it's going to go for 1 minute, and I've got icing sugar all over me. But 1 minute for 6, it's going to go to 65 degrees, and it's going to go to 4 here now. So I don't know about you guys, but our family we do love ice cream. But when you go to the shops and buy ice cream, I find that they often come with a lot of ingredients. I went online today just to look at a couple of brands, and I couldn't find one that was under 10 to 15 ingredients. Whilst ice cream really only needs 3 things. You would obviously need your dairy or your fruit, depending on what it is you do. You need your sugar, and you need an egg. I don't think you always need egg, but some recipes comes with egg, don't they? So
absolutely,
this is a great way to just avoid all those preservatives and additives.
That's crazy that it was 10 to like 15 ingredients just for some ice cream. I think it's things like that when I started on a bit of a food journey and cooking from scratch that I didn't quite realize that how many things were just that I'd taken for granted not to look at the back of the packet. But once you start, you realize what's in your food and how easy it is to eliminate them from your food. Right, Marlon?
Yes, absolutely. That's like Kylie said before, there's so many aisles we don't need to go into these days. We just kind of can go on the outside of, or not outside, but like the outside aisles of the supermarket rather than, So it just asked me to scrape down the blades and go next without the measuring cup. You girls to know, was the butterfly whisk actually supposed to stay in?
No, we take it out, and then we are going to add in. Yeah, we take it out.
Thank you. And I was a bit unsure. Cool. Pop the lid on, and it's going to go in again for 1 minute and up to 4 again.
Oh no, sorry. If the egg isn't in, we leave the butterfly whisk in. Sorry, my bad. We take it out when we're doing the fruit.
That's all right. We can stop it easily, can't we? We're just going to stop it. Yep. And we're just going to go back. It's so easy to do these things as well, just to kind of change it up, if we've made a slight 100%. Yes. And butterfly whisk is back in. And we're going to go to 4. Thank you. Sorry for that.
No, sorry, that was my fault. So what we're doing now is, which it wouldn't have happened if we had taken out the butterfly whisk, so apologies for that, but we are whipping the egg white while we're cooking it. So this is a great recipe, and you can confidently give it to anybody because the egg is cooked. And, so if somebody is ill or pregnant and they don't want to be eating raw egg whites, with the TM6, we now have the ability to cook the egg white. So that is one of the major benefits for that in the recent upgrade when they upgraded from the TM5 to the TM6. So we are cooking our egg whites and whipping them at the same time, which is pretty easy to do in your Thermomix, but pretty impressive, I always think. Because the temperature is set, it is not going to cook and it won't get too hot and burn. It's just at the perfect temperature. So foolproof, no mistakes can be made. So the things like you would have seen, the butterfly whisk, the simmering basket, the Varoma that Meta was using, these are all included in the price of the Thermomix. So they all come with your Thermomix.
this is where it's asking me to remove the butterfly whisk, which is super easy.
And
So I'm gonna clean that a little bit like that, pop that to the side, and go next. And this is when it's asking me to pop 600 to 650 grams of frozen seasonal fruit in, fruit or berries. So I'm making some mango, blueberry and strawberry mixture today.
amazing. And guys, if you love an ice cream, I'd love to know what your favorite ice cream is. Pop it in the chat. Tell us what berries you would use. What flavor would you guys make?
Yes. This is also, it's going to ask me to pop the spatula, which we have got here, into the hole of the lid. And it's going to go for 1 minute, and I'm going to turn it to start. This is just to push the fruit down.
It's going to, so that because it is making a little bit of noise with the frozen fruit into the metal bowl, it's drowned out the sound. So the spatula that comes with the Thermomix is what Marlon's using here, because it's got specifically designed so you can put it into the bowl and it will never touch the blade. So everything is like very cleverly designed of and thought of. So all we're doing now is pushing the fruit around the bowl so it doesn't stack up on top of each other. And that will give it blending the fruit, essentially using it like a blender at the moment. So, and it's a little bit of a workout. It's great. Yeah. So moving it around, yeah. If you guys have had a cooking experience before, have you cooked Fruity Dream? Have you had a chance to try it? What flavor did you make? Pop it in the chat and let us know. Or pop in the chat your favorite flavors.
Just going to show you how this looks now after I've done that step. So this is how it looks now. So it's just mixed up all those fruits and berries. And I'm going to go next, and it wants me to reinsert the butterfly whisk. And I always use my spatula just to see the blades in here, so I know where I'm going. And that's good enough. Turn that a little bit to the right, and then pop the lid back on. And insert my measuring cup. And go next, and it's going to go for 1 minute at speed 4.
Okay, so while that is doing it, we are now re-whipping the egg white back into the blended fruit. So the beauty of this is obviously we have gone from milling our own sugar to icing sugar. Obviously a little bit less time and you would have caster sugar. So, and we've just used raw sugar, so you can use any other sugar you'd like. If you want to use normal sugar, you can even leave the sugar out. You're in total control of this recipe. So if you want no sugar or less sugar, you can also do that. So we've gone from blending the sugar to cooking the egg white, to whipping the egg white, to blending our fruit, and now we're mixing it back in again, all in one pot, which is just amazing. So if you can think of how many appliances or utensils you would have used previously just to make this ice cream, and maybe how much time it would have taken you, I'm sure you'll all agree it would be a lot more time and a lot more dishes. Yes, love the one pot wonders, and just like what Mette is making again a little bit later for Maine, it is amazing just for using less dishes, right?
Yes, here we are. I love this part. So here we've got our Fruity Dream.
It's amazing. Can you give
Look
us a
at
scoop
that.
out with your spatula,
Yes.
just to show us the volume?
Oh, it's just, honestly, it's just absolutely delicious. It's so fluffy. Did you want me to scoop it all out, or?
No, you can carry on. I know you're probably going to put some aside and freeze some for your kids.
Yeah, so that's the great thing. So my kids are going to get a little bit now, so they're super excited, but I'm also going to freeze some for the weekend.
Perfect. Lovely. Well, we will maybe pop back and see some in a little bit in a bowl later on. And
Absolutely.
I'll go through. I feel like I'm just going to check in and see who we're going to next, because I'm not entirely sure. We've had a wee schedule flip around.
That
Are we
might
back
be my
to you,
fault.
Nessa?
Yeah, I'm just going to show you super quickly. My 10 minutes of cooking the rice and the vegetables is just finished. So the next step is that we're adding on. It asks in the recipe for 450 grams of snow peas, but one, I don't know what it is, and two, it's not in season. So I'm just using whatever I've got in my fridge. So I've got some cauliflower in the fridge that needed using up, so I'm just popping that on the tray. So now we're cooking in 3 different layers. We've got the rice in here, we've got 1 layer of vegetables, and then a second layer of vegetables. So that's just cooking here for another couple of minutes. And then when that is finished, we are going to cook the chicken. So we're going good here. We've got a couple of more minutes.
And then shall I go to somebody else, or are you going to impress us with some knowledge and information?
Actually, because Kylie's bread is in the oven, so maybe we'll stick around and have a wee chat about how to earn a free or a half price Thermomix. That's always a good topic to talk about.
And could you please show us, because you've got your 2 Thermomixes there, and they are exactly the 2 that are on offer at the moment. Like I said, guys, normally it is your white beautiful Thermomix on offer, but at the moment we have the option of the sparkling black, but they come with extras, so I'm going to let Mette speak into that at the moment.
Yeah, they are, so it's just you kind of can't almost, I need to take this off and show you a bit closer up. So it's kind of it's a textured surface. So it's not, we previously had a black one that was exactly like the white, but black, and that's kind of shiny, whereas this black has got a bit of texture. So it's pretty cool, I have to say. But I'm a huge fan of the white, classic white. You know, we in Scandinavia, we like everything to be crisp.
Right.
So,
and what do we get with our Thermomixes at the moment?
So at the moment we're getting a glider board, which I have here under my Thermomix. So this means that we can then easily move around our Thermomix if you want to shove it into the corner, because as we know, the scales are in the feet of the Thermomix. So we don't want to drag it on the bench. We either want to lift it or have one of these glider boards. So that comes with, so if you're ordering a white Thermomix, you get a white glider board, and if you order a black Thermomix, you get a black glider board, and you also get a $140 mix shop voucher with the Thermomix at the moment. So it's pretty good deal, I reckon, at the moment. So if you're on the fence,
it is pretty amazing. And I know we have another day left of an amazing option to finance your Thermomix, which is how I personally got mine. What is it? Tomorrow's the last day, I believe.
Yeah, tomorrow's the last day for the 36-month interest-free and the option to get a Thermomix for $19 a week. And I can guarantee that you can save more than $90 a week with a Thermomix. And what we're doing today is just showing some of the ways that you can save with your Thermomix. But there is, I've had customers who save over $100 a week on their groceries with a Thermomix. So, and if this is something that's important to you, then your consultant, and I'm happy to help the consultant if it's a new consultant, make sure that you save that money, because it is so doable, and something that I really think, when you buy a Thermomix, you're actually better off a year. It takes about 12 to 18 months for your Thermomix to pay for itself, and after that you're actually in the plus by buying one.
Absolutely.
So
and if we decide that finance isn't the way we go, what is the actual best way to get your Thermomix?
Thanks for that intro, Carol. So the actual best way is definitely, it's the way that I got my Thermomix, because my husband was a firm no on getting a Thermomix. There was no way, because me and Kylie used to have a catering business together. I love cooking. I'm not as good of a cook as Kylie, but I do love it, and I've always cooked from scratch as much as was possible. But getting a Thermomix was the only way for me to get it, was to earn it. So if you sell 6 Thermomixes, you get yours for free. And if you sell 3, you get it half price. So it's a pretty good deal. So even if you sell some and don't make it to your full 6, then you still get it cheaper. So, and if that's something that you're keen on, tomorrow night, we've got a business information session at 7:30. You can just hop on and just get the information and get the lowdown on what earning a Thermomix looks like. And you will join our amazing team and have lots of fun on the way. And that's if you're an owner as well. Like you were, Carol, and was just talking to everyone about it. Because we know the technical term of when you can't shut up about your Thermomix is called thermo vomit. And a lot of us do. Because we can't shut up about it. Everyone needs to know how amazing a Thermomix is. So if you find yourself doing that, then maybe hopping on the team and actually earning some money doing it is a good idea. Right. So my vegetables are finished. So they have, I wonder, I might actually keep because I've changed the recipe. This is always when you change things up, you might want to do it a little bit more. And we have got, the rice is finished. I'm just going to grab a spatula. So the cool thing is, on this spatula, there's a hook on the back. So I've got my rice cooked in here, but it's super hot. So there's a hole in your simmering basket. And I can show you on this one. So there's a hole right here. Maybe a bit hard to see with the backlight. So you just get your spatula in there, and then you can lift this up. And you're going to put this rice to the side for a little bit. And we're just going to carry on cooking. Clicking next, and then we are going to discard this cooking liquid because we don't need this. You could actually save it and use it as a bit of stock. It's got a bit of flavor.
And that's another thing I love is steaming the rice as opposed to cooking it in the I guess what would that be, the starch?
Yeah 100%. Yeah, it always turns out perfect, the rice. I love it. And then there's which you know very much about, Carol, the old burnt pots.
Yeah.
You avoid that scenario as well. All right, we're going to go in with 20 grams of olive oil in here, and then we are adding 300 grams of chicken breast. So I've just got some free range chicken breast in there. Next, and then we're going to add on our splash guard. I haven't gotten out. So that's this. It also comes with your Thermomix. So this is a safety feature because we're now going to do something called the high heat mode. So if you're someone with a TM5 or a TM31, this is something that those machines can't do. Now we're going to go to 170 degrees. So you're going to hear the sizzling sound in the Thermomix, and it's just getting that bringing the flavor out and really caramelizing and making that meat perfectly cooked, which is really cool. So I'm just going to pop that splash guard on now and turning it on. High heat mode for 5 minutes. And if you are a Thermomix owner and you want to cook manually with the high heat mode, you need to go and find, there's a few high heat collections in Cookie Doo that you can go and find if you want to access this manually, because it's a safety thing that we can't just use it as a mode on its own. You need to access it through a recipe. So there's plenty of them in Cookie Doo if you want to find that.
Perfect.
So now, while this is cooking, we're going to go over to Rebecca, who is going to make us a hummus.
Okay, well, thanks for that. We'll come back to you in a minute, and I'm going to spotlight Rebecca here. And hey, Rebecca, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Carol, how are you?
Good, not too bad.
Awesome. So I'm going to be making some hummus.
Yes, hummus. So is this a recipe you've made before that you like to make, or is this your first time?
Yes, so this is one that we've made before. That's really good. I like it because it doesn't use tahini. You actually toast the sesame seeds yourself. So I know that there'd been a bit of a recall with some tahini products over the last few months. So for me, avoiding that is really good. And also, making more things yourself is definitely a great way to save money with your Thermomix.
Absolutely, and I can't wait for you to show me how easy it is to do that.
Great. Okay, I'll get started. So I've got the recipe in my planner for today. So we'll just go on to there. Great, so I'll start cooking. So the first thing it's asking for is a couple of garlic cloves. So I've got 3 here. I'm going to say next. Right, and then we're going to add 400 grams of chickpeas. So I'm using canned chickpeas today, which is almost 2 cans worth, so 400 grams. But there is also the option of buying dried chickpeas, so you can soak them for a few hours and then cook them yourself. So that's even cheaper than canned. So it's about $3 for 2 cans. But yeah, definitely using dried is a great way to save a bit more money.
That's good. And I guess you could get them from places like Benin and Nourish and Thrived as well. So yeah, and I suppose reducing the waste, like more packaging.
Yeah, definitely. What I also like to do is hoard jars. So any jars that I come across, peanut butter, whatever I've brought from the supermarket, I'll always keep the jars and use them for storing leftovers or other stuff we've made in Thermomix. So we make like a fruity yogurt topping or mayonnaise. So yeah, my fridge is always full of random jars, which yeah, I think is really
I think
a good way to save on waste.
the next time they need to bring out a labeler with your Thermomix, because I'm like you, I'll find so many jars in my fridge and I'm like, which one's which?
Yeah, that would be good actually. So I'm just adding 60 grams of water. And the other thing I love about this recipe is you basically just put everything in and blend it for 1 minute and it's done. So it's so easy. So I'll say next, and it's needing now 30 grams of lemon juice. So I've popped some in here earlier.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, so here's the 40 grams of toasted sesame seeds. So as I said, that's instead of using that tahini. So I'm just going to bring the scales back to 0, pop that in.
I just love that this is an option for people if they're worried about tahini.
Yes, it's so good because that honestly put me off making hummus for a wee while. So then once I found this recipe, I was really stoked. Half a teaspoon of salt. So I'm just going to find some in. Next, 70 grams of olive oil.
And I have actually found a recipe where you can make your own tahini, which is which might alleviate this, but this is great. You don't even need to make it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so the next step is now to put the lid back on. And we're going to blend for 1 minute. So it starts off at speed 5 and then you gradually increase the speed right up to speed 10. So you won't be able to hear me talking while that's on. But I just wanted to quickly show you as well. We've made these seeded crackers that we really enjoy with hummus. So that was another great recipe that Thermomix makes so easy, because whenever I've made crackers in the past, they've never worked out. So yeah, love that we can make stuff like that in the Thermomix, and it is really easy and it does save you lots of money.
And you find that's a good recipe. I might see if Jess can put that recipe up in the chat. The seeded tahini crackers, is that what it is? Or
it's a seeded cracker. It's from a toddler collection.
Oh, I know one. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, they're really good.
Oh,
And they're gluten-free as well. Like it's basically all seeds, a little bit of spice and salt, a little bit of oil and water. And
amazing.
It's so simple. Cool. So I'm
So
just going to put this
healthy.
on to blend.
Okay, great. You put it on blend and we will. And what I'll do is while that's on, I might just return quickly to my flip chart and just talk into that a little bit more. So here is, hopefully you have seen a lot of these things in action that we've used so far. If you haven't, or you want to see anything else, please just pop it in the chat or reach out to your consultant. I'm just going to move the slideshow on. Oh my God, it doesn't want to move. No, it doesn't want to move on. Oh, there we are. So you will have seen us using Cook I Do. So Cook I Do is our platform, our recipe platform. We call it Netflix for recipes because on it you've got access to so many recipes, something like 80,000 recipes from all over the world. The great thing is when you get a Thermomix, you get 6 months access to this Cook I Do platform. After that 6 months is finished, it is $69 a year. So that is for all of those recipes which are continuously updated and added into it. Now, everybody is entitled to a free 30-day trial. So if you haven't had a look and you want to see a little bit more about Cook I Do and what kind of recipes are on it, you just need to pop onto cookido.com.au and sign up for your free trial. Definitely worth having a look, and there's so much more you can do with Cook I Do that we just don't have time to go into today. But when you have a demonstration, get your consultant to run through all the options that Cook I Do does. So the price of the Thermomix is $2,699. Like I said, it is an all-inclusive offer. So everything you've seen that we've been using, from your Varoma to a cookbook, the spatula, splash guard, all of that comes with your Thermomix. Now we have lots of different payment options to suit lots of people. Like myself, I got the 24 months interest-free. At the moment, until tomorrow, it's 36 months interest-free. So $19.01 a week. So easy to save that with your Thermomix. And obviously the best way to get your hands on Thermomix is to earn one. I wish I had done that from the start, but it is a great option, and it's so good for learning so much about your Thermomix and just sharing it with people and seeing how it can help people, you know, improve their health, or give them more back time, or just find some energy and interest in cooking again. So lots of payments to suit lots of different types of people. We also have an easy 3, so that just breaks it down into 3 installments. And of course, you've got your one-off payment. So have a think which would suit you, or anyone you know, and reach out to your consultants. Now, like I was talking with Mette, we have this amazing opportunity to get a black Thermomix at the moment. So obviously you can still get your classic white Thermomix, but we also have the limited time offer of this black sparkling Thermomix, and it does come with a free glider board. It is one of the things I highly recommend that you get with a Thermomix, and a $140 Mix Shop voucher. So Mix Shop is where you will get accessories to go with your Thermomix, and it is such a great place. So definitely have a look on thermomix.co.nz and pop into the Mix Shop, and you can see all the wonderful things there. We'll give you an opportunity to choose a consultant. So choose your consultant that's invited you along today and help support their business as well. So passion like this doesn't come off the shelf, and it's certainly true. So many of our owners have become consultants just like me because of all of the amazing things that Thermomix has done for them personally. So saving time was a major focus in my household, with 3 preschoolers and not a lot of time to get anything actually done in the kitchen. Obviously, I started down this route because my daughter had health issues, so cooking from scratch became a priority, and creating a bit of energy and excitement in the kitchen. Cooking was not my first love or my second or my third, but putting a healthy meal on the table at a reasonable price became really important to me, especially with those allergies and intolerances that I was dealing with at home. So now being able to whip up these amazing meals that just possibly wasn't an option before has been amazing. Now, when you get a Thermomix, we also get a consultant, and this is a major difference between other products and us. So you get a consultant to support you in your journey, so you get the most out of your Thermomix. But we will also deliver and unpack it with you, whether that's in person or virtually, and make sure you're comfortable using your Thermomix, everything's up and running, and you know what you're doing. We do have cooking classes. Now, these are classes designed to support our customer community, can of course bring along new people and introduce them to the Thermomix. It's such a wonderful way to see multiple things being cooked in the Thermomix. We usually cook about 6 to 8 dishes over 2 hours, and it's a great way to learn lots of tips and tricks, get inspiration and ideas. So we do have one coming up, and Jess is going to pop that in the chat. So if we can pop in the chat, Jess, our next cooking class, and let everybody know about that, that would be amazing. So the other way we like to share our Thermomix is on our social media. So Today you will see a few of us have been cooking, and if you want to have a look a little bit more, follow us along, you can take a screenshot or grab your phone and take a photo of these little handles and follow us along on our journey and help us share with you what we like to create and do in our Thermomix. So now that I have finished, I'm going to pop back to the lovely Rebecca, and she is going to show us what she finished making.
Right, so there is about half a kilo of hummus that we've just made in a minute. So I think you'd probably be hard pressed to find that for, less than $5 in the supermarket. So I think that's, yeah, it's great because it's really fresh, no preservatives, you know exactly what's in there, and you're saving money making it yourself.
I love it. And then, just from simple pantry staple things that you tend to have in your pantry.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. Oh, that looks wonderful. And I can't wait to see what it looks like with a cracker as well. Now, I think we're going to go back to either Mette or Kylie. Somebody's going to have to tell me. I don't know where I am now.
Yes, can you come back to me, please? I've just got one last thing to do. We're just going to make the sauce for this. Only takes a couple of minutes. So we're going to make now our vegetables are done. And our chicken, so that is all in here, and look how much this is, and then there's a whole thermoserver full of rice as well. So I'm just going to make the sauce to go on top of this, which will now use 10 grams of fresh ginger. So this is probably actually 20, because I think any recipe, the ginger and the garlic you can easily double, because more is more. So oh my god, my garlic clove ran away. Sorry. 2 garlic cloves. And then we're going to chop this up. Inserting our measuring cup. There, that's 8 seconds worth of chopping. And now we're going to scrape down the sides. We've now chopped this garlic and this ginger, and it's quite cool, I think, with the Thermomix because it can chop really small amounts, whereas a lot of food processors struggle when you're chopping just a little bit. And it was actually you who taught me that, Carol, that just the way the blades are positioned in the bowl with one being really low means that nothing can get under it. So I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, I do love it because sometimes, you'll want to saute something and you're only going to chop 1 clove of garlic, and you don't want to get out your knife and your chopping board and just pop it in your Thermomix, chop it, then add the next step of ingredients. So love that it's step by step, but all in the correct order without using extra utensils and mess.
100%. Now I've just put in 90 grams of soy sauce. So if you want to keep this completely gluten-free, you use tamari. We're going to do 80 grams of honey. So just using a bit of cheap. And I'm just going to do a little bit less. It's 80 grams. I'm just going to do about 60. And then 40 grams of rice wine vinegar. And I think this sauce is something that you could use for, a lot of things. Like even if you've got just some chicken, for example, and you want to make like an Asian style sauce with it, you can just whip this up super quickly because these are all ingredients that most of us have at home. So a tablespoon of corn flour, and you can use more or less depending on if you like the sauce a bit thicker or a bit thinner. And then we're going to just cook this for 2 minutes, and then that is done. So let's go and check out Kylie's bread rolls.
Yay. Alrighty, let's find Kylie and see what you have made. Oh, you're on mute. There you go.
There we go.
Wow. Nice buns.
Yeah, so these are a great size for like if you're going to have soup. So I might put these ones in the freezer for soup, and the other ones I might make them into 8. So they're decent size. I can make some filled bread rolls for tomorrow for the boys' lunches.
That's so cool. And so how many bread rolls did that make?
It made 16.
And you could have made 24. Like that's just amazing.
Yeah.
and not that long. So like you said, quite easy and quick to whip up, especially if people come around and you need to increase your contents of your dinner.
Yeah. So yeah, so you could do that in like about an hour, 5 minutes maybe. Yeah.
Amazing. So this spread roll recipe is one of our recipes that we do make a demonstration. So if you're interested to see this actually in action and you want to give it a go, reach out to your consultant and book in a demonstration so they can help you cook it. Now I'm going to go back to Mette because she should be ready by now. You go.
Almost. I'm almost ready. I've got 30 more seconds to go. But yeah, I definitely think giving this Chinese style chicken a go, because it actually makes a lot of food. I'll show you. So we've got, here is our rice. This will easily serve 8 people. And then we've got all of our veggies, and you could even make a bit more veggies if you wanted to. And then we've got our sauce in here, and also we're using 300 grams of chicken, so it's very cost effective as well. So I think it's a really cool dish. And I think one of the things that I've loved with the Thermomix is the fact that you can cook so many different things. Most families go around on about 10 different recipes. Once you get a Thermomix, and I love hearing story, like I always make fun of you, Carol, but you know, I love hearing, because Carol wasn't the keenest or the best cook when she started out, but now you make beautiful things and you're actually, you know, now a really good cook. And I think that it's so cool, and actually being able to cook really exciting, fun things from scratch, and you know, anyone can really do it. And I love Marley was talking about it. I don't know if I didn't hear it if you talked about it on here, but her son was, you know, making all sorts of things yesterday. So just love all of those kind of things. So here is our sauce. So I'm now going to just pour this over our chicken. And I only had dark soy sauce. So if you're using normal soy or tamari, it won't be as dark as this, but it's just, you can use whatever, you know, floats your boat really. So we're going to have this for dinner tomorrow, me and the kids. Yeah, such a nice, exciting, fun recipe, and comparing to what you would pay if you would get this as a takeaway for 6 people, you will save a lot of money.
I love that. That's amazing. Thank you so much. So I think I have showed everyone. What I might do is I might put a wee screen, I might get everybody up who's cooked, and if they could have their dishes or a part of their dish ready, and we can share with everybody what we've made, because it has been a lot of things we've made here, so it can be hard to remember everything we've made, but I'll pop them all up here and then we can show you exactly what we have managed to make. So I've got Marlon, and I'm like, who am I missing? Missing Rebecca. I think Rebecca might be not available at the moment, but that's all right. Have I got everybody? I've got us 3. You 3, I mean. So we've got Rebecca had made the beautiful hummus with the sesame seeds. We've got Marlon down the bottom, who has made the beautiful ice cream fruity dream. And we've got Kylie, who's made her beautiful bread rolls, and Mette, who has made an absolute huge amount of food. Look at that, all of that. I love that, all in the one dish. So if these are any recipes, these are all recipes we demonstrate at Cooking Experience. So if you see any of these and you think you want to give them a try yourself, please do reach out, and we would love to come and do a demonstration for you. Get your hands on the host rewards like the dough mat Carly showed you, and maybe the thermos over blade cover. There's so much other options to get. So yeah, it's been lovely having you, and thank you for popping your questions in the chat. I'm going to add in Jess, because she's kind of like our unsung lady here, who has been typing away in the chat box. There's the gorgeous Jess. Yeah, so it's been a pleasure having you guys. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat box, or come off speaker and ask us. We don't bite too much. But yeah, if you've got any questions, please let us know. Thanks, ladies. That was awesome.
Fabulous. I'm going to stop the recording.
Oh.